The death of Antonio Francisco Morales in a hotel room, alone, of asthma. Morales, my Spanish dancing teacher. Whenever I stepped off the bus at Montmartre, I could hear the music of the merry-go-rounds at the fair, and I would feel my mood, my walk, my whole body transformed by its gaiety. I walked to a side street, knocked on a dark doorway opened by a disheveled concierge, and ran down the stairway to a vast room below street level, a vast cellar room with its walls covered with mirrors. It was the place where the little girls from the opera ballet rehearsed. When I came down the stairway, I could hear the piano, feet stamping, and the ballet master's voice. When the piano stopped, there was always his voice scolding, and the whispering of smaller voices. As I entered, the class was dissolving, and a flurry of little girls brushed by me in their moth ballet costumes, laughing and whispering, fluttering like moths on their dusty ballet slippers, flurries of snow in the darkness of the vast room, with drops of dew from exertion. I went down with them along the corridors to the dressing rooms. These looked like gardens, with so many ballet skirts, Spanish costumes hanging on pegs. It overflowed with the smell of cold cream, face powder, cheap cologne. While they dressed for the street, I dressed for my Spanish dances. Morales would already be rehearsing his own castanets. The piano, slightly out of tune, was beginning the dance of Granados. The floor was beginning to vibrate as other Spanish dancers tried out their heel work. Tap, 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 tap. Morales was about 40, slender, erect, not handsome in face, but graceful when dancing. His face was undefined, his features blurred. I was the favorite. He was like a gentle Svengali, and by his eyes, his voice, his hands, he had the power to make me dance as well as by his ordinary lessons. He ruled my body with a magnetic rule, master of my dancing. One day, he waited for me at the door, neat and trim. "Will you come and sit at the cafe with me?" I followed him. Not far from there was the Place Clichy, always animated, but more so now, as the site of a permanent fair. The merry-go-rounds were turning swiftly, the gypsies were reading fortunes in little booths hung with Arabian rugs, workmen were shooting clay pigeons and winning cut glass for their wives. The prostitutes were enjoying their loitering, and the men were watching them. My dancing teacher was saying to me, "Anais, I am a simple man. My parents were shoemakers in a little village in the south of Spain. I was put to work in an iron factory where I handled heavy things and was on the way to becoming deformed by big muscles. But during my lunch hour, I danced. I wanted to be a dancer, and I practiced every day, every night. At night, I went to the gypsies' caverns and learned from them. I began to dance in cabarets, and today, look!" He took out a cigarette case engraved with the names of all the famous Spanish dancers. "Today I have been the partner of all these women. If you would come with me, we could be happy. I am a simple man, but we could dance in all the cities of Europe. I am no longer young, but I have a lot of dancing in me yet. We could be happy." The merry-go-round turned and sang, and I imagined myself embarking on a dancing career with Morales, dancing, which was so much like flying, from city to city, receiving bouquets, praise in newspapers, with joyous music at the center always, pleasure as colorful as the Spanish dresses, all red, orange, black, and gold, gold and purple, and red and white. Imagining, like amnesia, forgetting who I was and where I was and why I could not do it. Not knowing how to answer so I wouldn't hurt him, I said, "I am not strong enough." "That's what I thought when I first saw you. I thought you couldn't take the discipline of a dancer's life. But it isn't so. You look fragile and all that, but you're healthy. I can tell healthy women by their skin. Yours is shining and clear. No, I don't think you have the strength of a horse. You are what we call a petite nature. But you have energy and guts, and we'll take it easy on the road." Many afternoons, after hard work, we sat at this little cafe and imagined what a dancer's life might be. Mireles and I danced in several places together, at a haute couture opening, at a millionaire Brazilian's opera house, at a nightclub. But when I auditioned for the opera Amour Brûlot and was accepted and would have traveled all over the world, I gave up dancing. And Mireles died alone in his hotel room of asthma. He had been saving his money to retire to his hometown, Valencia. He was good, homely, and would say to me, "You know, I have no vices like the others. I would be good to you." Just because I listened to his gaudy stories of a gaudy past, he glowed. He went at his dancing with renewed vigor. He was rejuvenated. He bought himself a new suit. For a while, it was as if I had lived in his shabby hotel room, with photographs of Spanish dancers pinned to the walls. I knew how it was in Russia, in music halls all over the world. The odor of the dancers, of dressing rooms, the pungent atmosphere of rehearsals. Lola, Alma Viva, La Argentina. I would wear bedroom slippers and flowered kimonos, big Spanish flowered cottons. I would open the door and my father would be standing there saying, "Have you forgotten who you are? You are my daughter. You have forgotten your class, your name, your true stature in life." One day I awakened from my amnesia, no longer a dancer. Mireles turned ashen and gray, was snuffed out. He became again an old, weary dancing teacher. How often I tried to kill the ideal self, assassinate the critical self, lose myself. That is, one of them. The ideal self is slowly becoming a ridiculous figure. I laugh at it.